Thank you guys for joining us for Oak Nights. I am super excited to have my friend Jessica from Discovering Wilderness joining us this month. We're going to be talking all about trailside meals.
So what this method is, there are individuals who would do freezer bag cooking or use this and then just use their hat to keep the food warm. And that's the little experiment that we're doing here, just to show how much of the heat from the boiling water dissipates into the environment. And we're about halfway through. Most food soaks for 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll tell you what the temperature difference is when you're done. One downside to using your hat is that if you're a messy eater, you might get food on your hat and then you have to put that on your head. And if you sleep with it at night, you might get squirrels or ants or whatever joining you in bed. So if you like to have a dedicated food kit, a cozy is a great alternative to that. So I've been making these for a little over a year. They are insulated, so I'll pass one around as well. There's just a normal cotton on the outside, but inside is a material called Insulbrite, and it's reflective. It's kind of like the stuff you would make an oven mitt out of, but it's crunchy because it has that silver lining that is what's reflecting the heat back into the food while it sits and cooks. So pass that around. So all you do is you put the water in like we did, seal it up, and then stick it in the cozy. Just set it somewhere while you do whatever. Take a nap, read a book, take a little hike. Yeah, set up your tent or your hammock, whatever you're using. So that's one of my favorite benefits. It's so simple, and you can multitask while you're out in nature and not have to slave over a lot of dishes that you have to clean up afterwards, or you don't have to bring knives to prep anything because you can do it all at home. And they're really lightweight, so for a lot of backpackers, again, it's very much about how much weight you're carrying. And food itself can be heavy, so when you dehydrate things, you're taking water weight out. Water's very heavy. We don't think about it. Even just the water in an apple compared to a dehydrated little bits of apple, you're saving a ton of weight, and then you're going to have water with you anyways. And the cozies themselves are very light, crunchy or crumbly, so you can just squish them in any pocket, any corner.
One thing that I found that works really well, so if you get one of these pots, they're sold in a kit. This one has a measuring cup that fits inside. It's made to fit your fuel canister inside. It's a nice, very full kit when it's done, which is space saving and great, but there's no room for other stuff. So what I ended up doing, because there's a reason that Jessica's my go-to pro on freezer bag cooking, is because this is my tried and true freezer bag cozy, and I use it to hold my other odds and ends together for my cooking. So my camp sleds go in, my sponge goes in a plastic bag so that it's keeping everything dry because it will soak everything else. And my spork goes in because it doesn't fit in my camp kit. And then other little bits that I can put in here. I try to keep anything that's in here odor-proof so that the fabric doesn't absorb anything other than water. It's more than once had some hot water spilt on it. It cleans up just fine. But some odor-proof bags are a great option for that as well. And there are different brands out there that you can try. This is a brand new unused one, but I have one that's gone on several trips, dozens and dozens, not quite yet to hundreds and hundreds of miles, but dozens and dozens of miles, and it held up really, really well. Odor-proof works great for keeping that dirty sponge from having an odor and soaking into things. It works well for holding your trash if you're going to be out multiple days because you want to make sure your trash doesn't smell and start to attract critters. And then this is just a different brand. You can see this one has had some wear and tear on it, and they hold up really, really well. I'll go ahead and pass these around too so you can see how heavy they are in comparison to just like a trash bag or even a freezer bag. They're just a little denser. I'll go on this side for this one. We'll trade out. So those are just some options for the camp kitchen in general, and I know to Jessica's point about weight, less is more for a lot of backpackers. You want an item that is multi-purpose. So for me, turning my cozy into a container just gives it a little bit more bang for its buck in my backpack.
And I do the same thing. I like to keep all like things together in my pack so I don't have to go hunting when I'm ready to eat. I can just grab one or two main things, and I know it's all there. One thing that I always take with me is this kind of spork. So I've always been a fan of sporks since I was little. And then I found these, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. They fold in half. This one's brand new, so it's the first time it's been folded, which makes it even more compactable. But the best thing about these is you get to keep your fingers clean. Because one downside to freezer-back cooking or those pre-made meals is they're kind of deep.
Here's a size demonstration. You're trying to scrape the bottom of your bag. And you can try to kind of fold over the top, but then you've got like little bits of rice that you're flinging out as you're trying to get the material to fold. It doesn't work out so well. So this is my very fond of purple titanium spork. Holds up really well, super durable, but it's really short.
Yeah, so the longer, there's titanium spoons too, anything that gives you a couple extra inches. While you're sitting here eating, you can see the spoon will go down to most of it as opposed to like getting your fingers all down in your food too.
And another option to the foldable one, which I have one of those as well, but I've got one that is two-part, so it's a spoon and a spork, or spoon and a fork rather. It's a little extra long tines for a spork, but anyway, it snaps together and it gives you a little bit of a longer reach as well. Another nice thing with it as well is if you have two utensils, if you are doing multiple things and you want to have a fork and a spoon, you do have that option. And they're super lightweight. Everything's been cleaned, so if anyone wants to check it out, you're welcome. And don't worry, I'll wash them again before I eat with them, probably.
Trail dishes clean or dishwasher clean?
Dishwasher clean. That's a good clarification. So for those who don't know, trail dish is clean. You lick it, you lick the other side off, it looks good, you throw it back in your pack. These actually did go through the dishwasher. I promise I didn't bring any just trail clean level stuff to share and pass around.
Yeah, this method works really well for any kind of outdoor activity. Hunters, boaters, any reason why you're outside and you want to eat.
You want to eat something hot and with minimal work.
And not just granola bars.
Right. Not just granola bars.